We have seen so many failures when it comes to comic book themed video games. Marvel's Avengers, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and while some have been popular, an upcoming one that has already faced lots of criticism is EA's Marvel's Black Panther, but now we're finding out that an ex-Sweet Baby Inc. employee and the narrative designer was seen proudly bragging that their previous title, Validate, had no white people on the development team. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, there is nothing that people like this can do to surprise me. At this point, they are constantly saying things that make me question why they're even part of the gaming industry in general, because they don't want to make good games. They simply want to make products with an agenda behind them, and of course they want to have teams that fit the agendas that they want to push. And we're now finding out that this Marvel's Black Panther game is in for a rough ride up until it finally releases, if they end up launching it, because it says, as an example of this phenomena of blatant and open discrimination, look no further than the fact that Danny Lalonde's, an associate narrative designer for EA subsidiary and current Marvel's Black Panther developer Cliffhanger Games, has openly and proudly bragged that she specifically and actively avoided hiring white individuals to work for her previous indie title Validate out of the fear that their mere presence would create an unsafe work environment for its dev team's non-white members. It says the very definition of a video game developed by Tumblr, Validate Struggling Singles in Your Area, is a visual novel slash dating sim wherein players are tasked with, of course, going on dates with the most stereotypically diverse characters one could imagine, but also choosing whether or not to enable each other's awful behavior and leave a trail of broken hearts behind them, or help them along the path of self-betterment with mixtapes, poetry, and cosplay thrown into the mix. Now, we have seen a lot of, I'm just going to call them cringe-worthy dating sims to release over the past few years. One of the most notable that I've talked about that, of course, Sweet Baby was affiliated with was Goodbye Volcano High, and there might be audiences for these games, and if you're part of that audience and you think that this sounds funny, that's cool, good for you, go and play it. I'm not trying to tell you not to, but at the same time, I would not play a game like this because it really does seem like it is a video game developed for Tumblr audiences, right? You're trying to better people and maybe in some cases enable their awful behavior. That just is not a title that I want to support, and judging by the fact that I've heard of this game maybe once before and that was it, it doesn't seem like it did particularly well. And we are talking about a time right now where so many indie games are blowing up in popularity because people are looking to support the alternative and not just the mainstream AAA companies that have been dominating for so many years. We've seen so many indie and of course AA games blowing up, but it says given the game's subject matter, it may come as no surprise to learn that its 21-member dev team apparently featured 0 white individuals, and this is something that they boast about. They are proud to talk about at any given point. It says, though, however, what is eyebrow-raising is the fact that this was not a merit-based hiring coincidence nor the result of white individuals not choosing to apply for the dev team, but rather her specific instruction to not hire them at all. And this was a clip from a few years ago when that Validate game was coming out, but the reason why it's so relevant now is because she was recently an employee at Sweet Baby Inc., and to top it off, yes, she is a narrative designer on this upcoming EA Marvel's Black Panther game, so she is still a very active individual in the industry. And everyone is talking about Sweet Baby Inc. right now, so they are looking at their past employees and the things that they've done and the things that they are working on in the future. And yes, sometimes coincidences do happen where you primarily have a certain gender working on a project or a certain ethnicity of people working on a project, but that is not what happened here. It was all intentional, and these are the problems that we have in the industry. People should be hired based on their merits, not because of their gender or the color of their skin. It says, though, speaking in reflection of validates development while hosting a talk titled 1 Year in the Industry, she admitted that the visual novel has a team of all people of color, while no white people are on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment, and I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me. That statement, just like me, should mean gamers, passionate workers, people who actually are friendly and caring. Those should be what you look for in members you want to bring onto your team, not their gender or their skin color, not these different things. Imagine if there was a white individual running a game studio and they came out in an interview and said, yeah, we really only hired other white individuals because we were worried about potential negativity and toxicity that someone else with a different skin tone could bring to the project. If those roles were reversed, that person would be obliterated on social media. They would be completely canceled. But this individual thinks that it's okay that they're saying this. I mean, it is disgusting. Racism is discrimination and prejudice against people based on their race or ethnicity. It is as simple as that. You can be racist against white individuals, and she is being attacked right now on social media for it. There are a lot of people who are very unhappy with these statements, saying that they are no longer going to be supporting this upcoming Black Panther game, and a lot of people just saying that they're not very surprised to hear this coming from someone who, yes, did work at Sweet Baby Inc. Now Black Panther is gonna fail and shit is going to hit the fan even more for Sweet Baby Inc. I don't think that there's anything that could really intensify the Sweet Baby Inc. situation at this point, just because we've got the media defending them, we've got ex-employees defending them, we even have, as I talked about in a previous video, a Homeland Security funded webpage or organization, take this, defending Sweet Baby Inc. and what they're calling Gamergate 2. I mean, there is already so much going on with Sweet Baby that this is just more to add to the pile. Oh, I remember this game and developers. It comes as no surprise their game didn't do well based on how they acted online. Boycott. Oh, an EA game? That should be easy. I don't buy EA games anyway. Now with Filthy Baby involved, it will be a bomb of epic proportions. It will be interesting to see over the next few days if this individual comes out on social media and whines and complains about how people are now talking about them and giving them extra attention based on all of these Sweet Baby Inc. controversy that is going on right now. But if you were initially excited for this upcoming Marvel's Black Panther game, definitely I would hold your breath and wait to see if, when trailers come out, it actually looks half decent. I have a feeling it's not going to be the best of games, and there is a possibility that Sweet Baby Inc. could be consultating on this title just based on the fact that there are ex-Sweet Baby Inc. employees who are now involved in this game. Only time will tell. I will be keeping my eye on it, but for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel, and of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.